Okay, today we're going to talk about cross modulation. That's this X mod section. So the idea of it is that we're assigning VCO2 to VCO1 as a modulator. So this becomes, either an audio rate modulator or an LFO, because this does have a low frequency switch. We can also change how long it takes to kick in with the filter envelope here. Let's just push some buttons because it'll make more sense, I think. So if we turn on VCO1, right? So what happens is now VCO2 is modulating VCO1's pitch. Okay, so at audio rate, a little bit like falling down the stairs. As we get into more extreme stuff, we get kind of a ring modulation thing happening. Right? So we can also turn off the keyboard. So we've always got this set to a specific pitch, and I can change that here. Where I find that this really shines, let me just get this back to C, is when we put it in low frequency mode. Okay, so now we're modulating the pitch with VCO2. It's set to a square wave, but you can see that's not strictly a square wave. It can be wherever we put it on this continuum here. So there's our triangle. And like harder and harder into saw. And harder into square. Okay, so why would I do this? Well, you can find some useful ways. I find I like to change to set this to fifths. And then you can just play chords and let it do its thing. Right? We can also turn back on the keyboard control, which means that this modulation will go faster as I go up the keyboard. So low modulations will be, and high ones will be very fast. Okay, doesn't have to be pitch though. It can be shape, which is very interesting once you get into like more sawtooths. And I'm just changing this because this the shape knob works as sort of an attenuator with these two engaged. Okay, so that's a cool sound. We can work on pulse width modulation too, as we saw in the last video with the LFO. So this does open up the possibility of double pulse width modulation if you want to go totally bananas. You can also change the filter frequency. So that's a fun thing to do. We can have like double filter frequency modulation between the LFO and the cross modulation. We can do filter mode. So that's the same as the LFO, it's just turning this knob here. And if we turn on a keyboard, we get to do some, fun. So we get different rhythms out of it. And last but not least, something that's not available on the LFO. So we're fading between normal and bandpass. Make it a square wave to make it obvious. And that's kind of the nice thing about this, is as I turn this knob, it's fading, you know, it's just pushing this button, basically. If we turn the filter envelope up, it gives the filter envelope a minute. There we go, starting to kick in. Or the other way. So fun things to try there. I hope that gives you some ideas. We will look at the effects next, because I don't have a keyboard with aftertouch. Maybe what we'll do is come back around and we'll do a video with some of that programmed into the DAW so you can hear.